Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. This transfer window could be a good one for Manchester United. Man United are very close to signing Jaden Sancho from Borussia Dortmund. Jaden Sancho has agreed personal terms with Man United. We are closing in on an £81.5 million deal. Fabrizio Romano said Man United have restarted contacts to sign Sancho. And he said Man United are close to agreeing a 5-year contract with Sancho. So yeah, the contract is until 2026. Fabrizio Romano revealed how much Borussia Dortmund want. They want from between 77 million to 81 million. We want the deal done for Jaden Sancho before next weekend. Jaden Sancho's already said that he wants his future resolved before the start of the Euros. Man United have been set a Jaden Sancho transfer deadline by Dortmund to get the deal done. Borussia Dortmund want Sancho's future decided before they go on pre-season camp on the 23rd of July. Jaden Sancho already has a gentleman's agreement with Borussia Dortmund to join Manchester United. Not so long ago, the Bundesliga journalist Konstantin Eckner said Man United reached an agreement in principle with Sancho, but we've not yet submitted a bid. We've already said we prefer Sancho over Harry Kane. Borussia Dortmund have lowered their asking price to £77 million for Sancho. That's a reasonable fee. We've been in for Sancho for the last 2 years now, so it has been a long-running transfer saga. We should have got Jaden Sancho last summer, because last summer Sancho was our number one priority target, and Sancho to Man United last summer was extremely close. You know, the personal terms had been agreed, the agent fees had been agreed, and the contract and that had been agreed. But the reason we didn't get him is because we was reluctant to meet Borussia Dortmund's 108 million valuation. We was only willing to pay so much up front. Last year, Dortmund made it clear that we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. We missed out on that deadline, so he remained at Dortmund. But Fabrizio Romano has spoken a lot about the Sancho saga, and Bill's Christian Falk spoke a lot about it last year. And the news regarding Jaden Sancho now is coming from, you know, important people and stuff. So there's always been something in Sancho to Man United. Sancho's endured 4 years at Dortmund. Dortmund paid just £7 million for him from Man City. And he's got a contract with Dortmund until 2023. But he will be a great signing for Manchester United because he'll fit in our team perfectly. He will assure us goals. He's good at creating chances. He will exceed expectations in the Premier League. He's still young. He's got a lot of development in him. And he's got a very, very good friendship with Marcus Rashford. He speaks to Marcus Rashford a lot. But earlier on this year, Borussia Dortmund told Sancho that he can leave, and then Solskjaer made him a transfer priority. So soon, Sancho should be officially a Manchester United player. But Sancho isn't enough. We need more than Jaden Sancho. So who's going to be the next player to come in after Sancho? You know what? There's a good chance it could be Rafael Varane from Real Madrid. Spanish outlet ABC recently said Rafael Varane appears to favour a move to Man United. I can assure Varane is leaving Real Madrid. Fabrizio Romano's already said that Varane is refusing to sign a new contract at Real Madrid. His current contract with Real Madrid expires next year. His contract talks with Real Madrid stalled a while ago. It said the other day that Man United have offered Rafael Varane a 5-year contract, plus a higher wage than the one he's on at Real Madrid. Now, it said we may have been handed a boost in our pursuit of Rafael Varane because of Carlo Ancelotti returning to Real Madrid. The other day, it said he could be available for just €40 million, which is an absolute bargain. Initially, Real Madrid were demanding £60 million. Not so long ago, they rejected a £40 million bid. And Man United and PSG recently made offers because it's impossible for Real Madrid to meet his demands. We've held talks with Varane's representatives. Varane recently spoke out on his future. He said it's unlikely his future will be resolved for the summer's European Championships. Varane said last season, though, he's keen on a move to the Premier League. You know, we went in for him 10 years ago under the Sir Alex Ferguson era, and Woodward was prepared to sanction a £100 million move for him back in 2018. But Varane is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. He'd go very, very well alongside Maguire in our back line. Being a long servant at Real Madrid, he's enjoyed like 10 years with them. Got a good pedigree as a player. He's won 18 major honours, including the FIFA Club World Cup. Man United is still in search for the centre-half, despite Eric Bailly signing a new contract towards the end of last season. Kieran Trippier, he's another player waiting for. We could sign Kieran Trippier from Atletico Madrid now. Like updated this morning, Kieran Trippier has told his England teammates that he wants to make a move to Man United this summer. The Athletic recently said that Man United begun negotiations with Atletico Madrid to sign Kieran Trippier. He has been house hunting. The Manchester Evening News said that we revived our interest in Kieran Trippier because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is unhappy with Wan-Bissaka's attacking output, so obviously Ole's got his reservations about Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka is the only recognised senior right back at Man United at the moment. So it would be good for someone to come in to provide him competition. Kieran Trippier, I reckon you'd get him for around £18 million. Atletico Madrid will find it extremely difficult to recoup the £20 million they paid for him from Tottenham in 2019. Everton are also interested in him. Kieran Trippier's current contract expires next year. He won the La Liga with Atletico Madrid last season. Of course, he's well Premier League proven. Kieran Trippier was part of the Tottenham squad when they got to the Champions League final in 2019. Obviously, that was under Mauricio Pochettino's guidance. Before, he's had 2 loan spells with Barnsley. He was at Burnley, once on loan with them. And he began his career at Man City. He was in up their youth academy, but he actually never made an appearance in Man City's first team. He's highly experienced as well as Trippier. He is the age of 30. We went in for him in January, but we couldn't get him because he got banned by FIFA for breaching betting rules. Declan Rice, he's another player that Manchester United are interested in. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said he wants a striker in the transfer market. Solskjaer has already made a Man United transfer promise. He knows significant investment is needed if we are to catch Man City. I think Solskjaer wants to make around 4 signings in order for Man United to challenge for the Premier League title next season. Solskjaer has been given a 150 million transfer budget to buy around 4 or 5 new players. Obviously, we'll sell players in this summer transfer window, so the transfer budget will increase. I'm expecting Solskjaer to get the backing he deserves. Because obviously the board recently said that they'll back Solskjaer with a new 3-year contract and summer signings, despite our Europa League final loss. And obviously we've got the likes of John Murtough, he's our director of football. We've got Darren Fletcher, he's our technical director. And we've also got Matt Judge. And Matt Judge has been part of the club for a long time. Solskjaer hasn't been backed enough so far as Man United manager. But yeah, the summer transfer window opens on the 9th of June. It's going to be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager. And Solskjaer is aware of how big the summer transfer window is going to be for himself and Man United in general. It's very imperative he gets the players he wants to recommend in. Next season is going to be massive for Solskjaer. Next season, I reckon Solskjaer has got to win a trophy at Man United if he's to remain Manchester United manager. That's my opinion. If things start to go wrong next season, he will be under pressure and then I think he'll end up getting sacked. If we do eventually decide to sack Solskjaer, who's going to come in to replace him? To be honest with you, it wouldn't really solve a lot if we did eventually decide to sack him. Because when, we've been inconsistent, not all of the blame has stemmed from Solskjaer. Some of the blame stems to him, but obviously certain players have got to take responsibility as well. Solskjaer has not yet won a trophy as Manchester United manager. We haven't won a trophy for 4 years. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. I'm not Ollie out at the moment. I said he does deserve next season. But I can assure he isn't the long-term manager for Man United. And I presume quite a lot of United fans will agree with me on that aspect. Obviously, there was some Man United fans demanding Ollie out after the Europa League final loss. But there was a lot of United fans that were Ollie out before the Europa League final. But I still presume that there's some United fans that are Ollie in and they believe that he needs more time at the club. Solskjaer has endured 2 full seasons at Manchester United, and he's been in charge of the club for almost 30 months. That's over 2 years. Solskjaer is lucky to be still Manchester United manager. The reason he's Manchester United manager still is because he's a club legend. That's what's basically saved him. Disregarding him being a club legend, I can almost assure he would have been sacked now. Reflecting now on Solskjaer's been at the club, he has gained some managerial experience and he's learnt quite a bit on the job. Before he was with us, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles and that at Molde, but they're not a big club. And before he was at Molde, he was at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was absolutely disastrous. The reason he got sacked from Cardiff is because he ended up getting them relegated. But whatever happens regarding Solskjaer, we'll always adore him because at the end of the day, he is a club legend. He endured 11 years as a player for Man United. Ollie has got just under a year left on the current 3-year contract he signed when he got the job permanently back in March 2019. I do have my concerns about Solskjaer, like I've gone through with you before, but there's also a lot of positives regarding Solskjaer as well. I didn't expect Solskjaer to do as well as he has done. You've got to say he has done a pretty good job to say the squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager. You know, we appointed him in December 2018 and he's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. So far, Solskjaer spent almost £300 million at the club and he's brought around 11 or 12 players in. He's got rid of a lot of the deadwood as well, to his credit. Yeah, but he's our best manager since Ferguson. As you all know, Joe Glazer recently had a fans forum and he said that Solskjaer will get financial backing. Obviously, towards the end of last season, there was a lot of United fans protesting against the Glazers at Old Trafford. You could have understood the fans' frustration because the Glazers have put us in so much debt. And I hate the way the club's been run in general for a long time. The Glazers have been at Man United 16 years. They bought the club for 500 million back in 2005. Last season, towards the end of last season, Joe Glazer wrote a letter to Man United fans. Obviously, he recently attended the fans forum. First attendance in like 15-16 years. And don't forget, towards the end of last season, Avram Glazer refused to apologise over the European Super League. And Solskjaer at the beginning of May, which was last month, he said the Glazers apologised to him. You know, he did mention that the violent incidents went too far, but he says the club need to take notice of the fans. Don't forget, the game against Liverpool did get postponed at the beginning of last month because obviously of the protesting. Woodward, obviously we know he's standing down at the end of the year because earlier on this year it got announced that Ed Woodward resigned as Man United vice chairman. I presume all United fans were happy with that. You know, Woodward has had a 16-year association with the club. So who's going to be our new chairman to replace Woodward? Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since Ferguson. The 3 managers we've sacked since Ferguson was David Moyes. We sacked Louis van Gaal. And we also sacked Jose Mourinho. And we're not even really known as a sacking football club. We've overpaid for players in recent years. Our recruitment's been poor for a long time. In that aspect, the blame stems from the board. We've spent over £1 billion in the last 8 years, and we've brought around 37 players in since Ferguson retired. We've only won, 4 trophies since Ferguson retired, so that justifies how inconsistent we have been for so long now. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013, which is 8 years ago. So there you go. And in general, mistakes have been made in the last 8 years, and that's why we've been nowhere near as consistent as we'd like to have been. But we've got to accept we're never going to be the team was under Ferguson, not in my lifetime anyway. No one will replicate what Ferguson did, and no one will last as long as Ferguson did. Alex Ferguson enjoyed 26 years, was it, at Man United, or 27? So he had a long tenure. Won 30-odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles. So reflecting on that, Sir Alex Ferguson brought success to the club. But Fergie didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. So it does take managers time, and this is why I've said in regards to Solskjaer, he needs time. The players, I think, should leave Man United in the summer transfer window. I think De Gea definitely needs to go. Phil Jones needs to go. Brandon Williams, we need to loan him out. Diego Dalot, we need to get rid of him permanently. We need to get rid of Andres Pereira permanently. Lingard, obviously, need to get rid of him permanently. He wants a permanent move away from Man United anyway. We need to offload Nemanja Matic. We need to offload Donny van der Beek. It recently said that Donny van der Beek was set for showdown talks with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer over his future. Donny van der Beek's only enjoyed 1 full season at Man United. It said not so long ago, though, that we will reject any offers for van der Beek. So reflecting on that, we're reluctant to let him go. Juan Mata, I think we need to offload him. We may not this summer because Mike McGrath from the Telegraph has said Man United are in talks over extending Juan Mata's contract. Juan Mata's current contract expires at the end of this month. But he needs to go because he doesn't really get in R11. And I think we also need to offload Anthony Martial. He's no longer good enough to represent the club. But you know what? These players that have really, really improved at Manchester United, and there's good players in general. I've got to say, Luke Shaw was our best player last season. He's really, really improved. He's had a good career at Man United despite his injuries. He's been at the club 7 years now. And he still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Tellez. Dean Henderson's a very, very good goalkeeper. He did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. We made the right decision putting Dean Henderson as number 1. I think he's got a long-term future at Man United. I think Harry Maguire can be a good centre-half when he wants to be, but he was a big miss towards the end of last season. Had ligament damage in his ankle. Sustained the ankle injury in the 3-1 win away at Aston Villa. I think Eric Bailly's a good centre-half. He's had his bad games, but my element of concern about Eric Bailly is too injury-prone. We probably did make a mistake giving him that new contract towards the end of last season. I think Wan-Bissaka's a very, very good right-back, but he's got to show more in the final third. He doesn't show enough attacking intent. He really doesn't. Defensively, he's superb. There again, though, there was some games last season where he did show some good attacking intent. And Wan-Bissaka, you've got to say, is one of the best right-backs we've had since Gary Neville. Paul Pogba, he's improved. We've been getting the best out of him in recent months. I hope Paul Pogba stays at Man United potentially past the summer. But he may not. Because it recently said Paul Pogba could leave Man United if Cristiano Ronaldo leaves Juventus. So Juventus are interested in bringing Pogba back from Man United, but they can only afford Pogba if they sell Cristiano Ronaldo. Solskjaer said, he wants Paul Pogba to stay and he hopes he signs a new contract. Paul Pogba's current contract expires next year. because last season we triggered that 1 year extension on his contract. Scott McTominay, he's a decent player, but he's not yet on that level where I want him to be at. Question is, can he emulate to that level? He needs more time. He's still young, a lot of development in him yet. He signed a new 5-year contract after the first lockdown last year. You know, Bruno Fernandes, you know, he's very, very good as well. Made the difference in this team. Mason Greenwood, also very, very good. He's been an absolute revelation since he broke into our senior squad, despite Greenwood going a long period without scoring. Edison Cavani, also very, very good as well. I'm glad he's staying for next season. Fabrizio Romano did say not so long ago that, you know, Cavani did sign a 1-year deal. So there you go. And Tom Heaton is incoming as well. Fabrizio Romano has already said that Tom Heaton will undergo a medical with Man United in the final week of June. He's joining Man United on a 2-year contract with an option of an extra 1. So yeah, we have got Tom Heaton on a free transfer. We used to have Tom Heaton before. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you for today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.